From censored files to clear evidence, this is Redacted Realms.
Special wartime classes in our nation's spirit of eliminating the enemy of ignorance. This is an image of anti-illiteracy classes in 1945, when Vietnam had just gained independence after over 1,000 years of northern domination. At that time, up to 95% of the population was illiterate. Specifically, out of 100 people, only 3 children aged 8 to 16 attended school and 2 adults were literate, while the remaining 95 had no access to education. In rural and remote areas, especially mountainous regions, there were places where not a single person could read or write. Faced with this urgent situation, the question arose: what did our people do to fight the enemy of ignorance? Let's explore in today. Going back to 1945, one day after independence, the Democratic Republic of Vietnam was established. It seemed the people would have warmth and plenty, but after repelling foreign invaders, they faced countless difficulties left by the feudal colonial regime. Production stagnated, famine ravaged, causing nearly 2 million deaths, over 95% illiteracy, and the national treasury was empty. Additionally, under the guise of Allied forces accepting Japan's surrender, imperialist armies flooded into our country. Nearly 200,000 Chiang Kai-shek troops north of the 16th parallel and tens of thousands of British troops in the south, accompanied by Vietnamese Nationalist Party henchmen plotting to overthrow the revolutionary government, posed immense challenges. At this point, the Democratic Republic of Vietnam faced 2 tasks: restoring the northern economy and struggling to gain southern power from the US and Saigon regime, aiming for national reunification. In that context, a crucial plan advocated by President Ho Chi Minh was launching a campaign against illiteracy, eliminating the enemy of ignorance, considering it the second urgent task among 6 priorities. An ignorant nation is a weak nation. Thus, eradicating illiteracy was an urgent and vital task for new democratic countries. Therefore, more drastic measures and higher determination were needed. On September 8, 1945, President Ho Chi Minh signed Decrees 171920 establishing the Mass Education Department, mandating that within 6 months, every village and town must have at least one compulsory national script class nationwide. However, born in hardship, the mass education movement encountered numerous problems. Lacking 2 essential conditions: manpower and finances. To sustain the classes, Vietnam needed 100,000 people from commanders to teachers. Not to mention as salaries were paid, it could cost nearly $200 million annually, excluding expenses for printing books and purchase. Notably, the budget for mass education then was a mere $2 million. Faced with this situation, various solutions were proposed, specifically that mass education classes must follow the revolutionary motto: of the people, by the people, for the people, meaning commanders and teachers worked without pay. And if learning tools were scarce, people had to maximize resourcefulness to save. From using baskets as desks, walls or doors as blackboards, or upright wooden beds, to using soft bricks, charcoal, broken stones as chalk, sharpened grass stems as pen, making ink from any colorful flowers or plants. Even the government ordered offices to collect used paper for the poor to write in blank spaces. Despite difficulties, the Mass Education Department continuously opened training classes. The first course, named Ho Chi Minh, opened in Hanoi exactly 1 month after establishment, lasting 10 days and becoming where the movement flourished most strongly. As classes mainly opened in the evening, people had to use oil lamps for lighting. Yet, the movement spread so widely that across all roads, people cheered by hanging banners and anti-illiteracy slogans everywhere. In central Vietnam, to boost learning spirit, the Mass Education Department sent a training delegation to Buat Thu province, organizing the Phan Ton training course for 67 delegates from central provinces from November 15 to 24, 1945. Subsequently, these cadres would disseminate and build mass education classes closer to the people. Fortunately, right after the movement launched in 1945, Vietnamese people studied everywhere, on boats while bailing water, even during marches. To learn letters, people also brought oil lamps or torches to attend night classes. Students included young children, elderly people with white hair, or women who shyly breastfed while spelling. For fishermen, classes were organized right on boats. To accommodate people, authorities also opened classes in workshops and plantations for workers, classes in markets for traders, classes in prisons for inmates, classes in sanatoriums for wounded. For every soldier, literacy classes took place even during marches. Each person's backpack had letters and easy-to-learn phrases attached while marching. Those behind looked at the backpacks of those ahead to learn letters. Many women returning late from fieldwork had to go to class hungry, hoping to learn how to write their names. People wanting to cross ferries had to read the letters on signs in all localities. Many people, due to livelihood, busyness, or shyness, had not focused on learning. For these individuals, literacy cadres had to use all forms of encouragement, showing movies or performing plays, creating witty folk songs to integrate the benefits of learning, demonstrating that learning the national script is easy, quick to grasp, and enjoy. That's pretty and crisp, but if she or marrying a literate man is like a fairy, marrying an illiterate is like the fate of a cow. In places with many stubborn, lazy people unwilling to study, cadres erected gates across the road in front. One tall, wide, and beautiful gate for the literate to pass through, the other low, narrow, and close to the ground for the illiterate, called the blind. For those wanting to cross ferries or rivers, cadres required them to read the alphabet before boarding. In the South alone, half a month after the literacy office was established, the French colonists returned to invade, so some cadres were sent to build foundations. The movement still did not maintain strongly. However, with the determined spirit of our people, just after 3 months, hundreds of classes opened from urban to rural areas and mountains. Teachers of all ages and professions, without salaries, still taught and learned simultaneously, while promoting learning campaigns, building schools, and seeking teaching material. Some classes had teachers, but some were assigned to family members teaching each other. Husbands teaching wives, children teaching mothers, siblings teaching each other. All teaching methods were adapted to suit the education. That was reading aloud. Letters and rhymes formed into 6/8 poetry. Comparisons for easy recall that we so often hear today, like "Oh, round like a chicken egg, oh, wears a hat, oh, grows a beard." Finally, by December 1958, the Delta and Midland regions of the North had basically eradicated illiteracy. 93.4% of people aged 12 to 50 knew how to read and write. In mountainous areas, the illiteracy eradication continued in later years and was basically completed by 1965. In the South, due to French colonial invasion, by 1975, 30% of people still could not read or write. However, after 2 years of focusing on illiteracy eradication and promoting culture, by the end of February 1978, 21 southern provinces also basically completed the plan. With such determined spirit and effort, no wonder that after over 1,000 years of domination by Han feudalists and forced assimilation, the Vietnamese people were not sinicized, still preserved their lineage, language, and unique customs and practices. Perhaps this is also a miracle that no other nation has achieved. That's due to our people. Saying so might still be general, because if analyzed neatly to find specific causes, it would be more helpful in promoting our nation's precious traditions. Reality shows our ancestors achieved victory against assimilation, not through armed struggle, but mainly through talent and will. The video ends here. If you have any opinions, please leave a comment below for the director to know. For now, goodbye and see you again. Please subscribe to the Gian Migo channel to not miss exciting videos.
If this file opened your eyes, subscribe and open the next case.